Okay, guys, welcome to yet another aspect of the method of economic analysis. Our first aspect we looked at scientific methods. The next one we looked at the basic tools of economic analysis, and now we're looking at what the measures of central tendency. Don't forget, this class is proudly sponsored by O3 Schools JAMB application. I believe by now you are already a registered user of the O3 Schools JAMB application, and you have been following all of our classes and you have been answering past questions. I hope you are actually doing that. Now let's look at the measures of central tendency. We won't waste much time. So we're just going to go straight to the measures of central tendencies. Now we have three basic measures of central tendencies. We have the mean, we have the median, and we have the mode. Mean, median, and mode. We'll be looking at each and every one of them. Now, let's start with the mean. The mean is simply the sum of the frequency divided by the total number. For example, let's look at the first example that will help us understand what the mean is. It said for a set of votes, we're going to use this example to look at the three aspects. We have the mean, we have the median, and we have the mode. For a set of numbers, we have 2, we have 3, we have 2, we have 1, we have 4, we have 3, we have 4, we have 1, we have 5, we have 5, we have 3, we have 2, we have 4. It said find the mean. This is the set of numbers. When we are talking about mean here, x, is simply the sum of all these numbers divided by the total numbers that will appear. For example, let's look at the total numbers now. How many numbers we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the numbers here was 13. Now what is the mean? The mean is simply the sum of all the 13 numbers divided by 13, which is the total numbers available. So we have 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4, all over 13, which we have counted. Now let's add. Let's do the addition. You can use your calculator, but since I don't have one with me, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 1 8, 8 plus 4 12, 12 plus 3 15, 15 plus 4 19, 19 plus 1 20, plus 5 will have 25, plus another 5 will have 30, plus 3 will have 33, plus 2 we have 35, plus 4 we have 39. So this will now be equal to 39 over 13. 39 divided by 13 we have 3. So our mean here is equal to 3. It is very simple and self-explanatory. Mean is simply the sum of all the numbers divided by the total numbers available. And now this is one way to get it. Now let's look at a situation whereby this data is given in a frequency table, and for us to look at it that way, we have to draw up a frequency table for these numbers. Now we already have the set of numbers available. Now let's draw up a frequency table for it. In our previous class where we talk about tables, that's frequency tables, I showed you how to, or what a frequency table looks like. So now let's look at the numbers. And then we look at what frequency. So we have 1, 2 is available. We have 3, we have 4. The highest we have is what? 5. So how many times does 1 appear here? 1 appears what? Twice. So the frequency of 1 here is what? 2. How many times does 2 appear? 2 appears how many times? 1, 2, 3. 2 appears what? 3 times. How many times does 3 appear? 3 appears 1, 2, 3. 3 appears 3 times as well. And 4 appears 1, 2, 3, 3 times as well. And then 5 appears twice. So let's see, if you have 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, 11 plus 2, what? 13. So we are correct. This is what frequency table for this set of what number that has been provided, or this data that has been what provided for us. Now, in looking for the mean here, you don't necessarily, when they give you only the frequency table, you don't necessarily have to spell out the what the numbers. The first thing you do, how many times does 1 appear? 1 appears twice. So we're looking at mean. 1 appears twice. 2 times 1 is what? 2. 1 plus 1, 2 times is actually what? 2. Plus 2 appears 3 times. 3 times 2 is what? 6. 3 appears 3 times. 3 times 3 is what? 9. 4 appears 3 times. 4 times 3 is what? 12. And 5 appears 2 times. 5 times 2 is what? 10. All over. Total frequency is what? 13. So if you add this, you are going to what? Have 39 over what? 13. Mean is equal to what? 3. So you don't necessarily have to what? Spell it out. Sometimes you can also do it like this. Drop your frequency table before you do the what? Calculation of the what? Mean. It depends on what you want. So we're going to leave the frequency table here as we move forward. So we're going to leave the set of numbers and we're going to leave the frequency table right here. Now, characteristics of mean. The mean is what? Involves all the elements in a given set of data. For example, in calculating this mean, we use every single number. Every of this number was involved in the calculation of the mean. Every number, no one was left out. We added all the numbers to it was calculating the mean. So it is what? It uses all the elements in a given set of data. And then the next characteristic we'll look at is always present. The mean is always present. In any calculation you want to do requiring measures of central tendency in the study of the method of economic analysis, the mean would always be present. Then it is present and it is what? Unique. It is what? Always present and it is unique, and it is very sensitive to change. If you make a small mistake by omitting one number, it's very sensitive. If you omit one number, you have gotten the entire calculation wrong. So that is it. It requires all the elements in a given set of data. It is always present and it is unique, and then it is very sensitive to change. The next one we'll be looking at is what? Mean. I hope you understand median, sorry. I hope you understand everything we talked about when we were talking about what? Mean. Now, median, a very, very, very simple aspect. Median is simply the middle number in a given set of data, and you can only get this middle number when the data is arranged either in ascending or descending order. If you arrange the data you are given in ascending or descending order, the middle number, the number at the middle, is the median. In a case where we have two numbers at the middle, the average of the two numbers is given as the median. For example, now let's look at this set of numbers. Now we're going to arrange. It is already arranged here in the frequency table, but let's arrange it here first before we move forward. Median. So starting with 1 in ascending order, we're going ascending. So 1, 1, 1 appears twice. 2 appears how many times? 3 times. 2, 2, 2. 3 appears 3 times. 3, 3, 3. 4 appears 3 times. 4, 4, 4. And then 5 appears what? 2 times. So the middle number here, let's check. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This is just like a baby method, but it's usually very accurate. So 3 is what? Middle number in this data. So the median, our median here is equal to what? 3. If we're using the frequency table to what? To calculate, it's 13. So 2, 2, 3, 3. So you know that what? The middle number is what? Is here. And then we have 3, 3, 3. The middle number is what? 3. You can still use the what? The summation, the calculation where you have what? The summation f over what? Oh, sorry, we have the what? Total number divided. If the total frequency is an even number, you divide by 2. If it's an odd number, you plus 1, which is what? Median equal to what? Summation f over 2 for even, or summation f plus 1 over 2 for what? Odd. So now let's look at now. They said summation f plus 1 over 2 for odd. Our total here is what? 13. So it is an odd number. So summation f plus 1, which is what? 13 plus 1 over 2 is equal to what? 14 over 2 is equal to what? 7. So just know that the number at the 7th position is the median. So 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. So the 7th position is definitely inside here. So we know that what? Median is equal to what? 3. If you even use this one, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 is at the 7th position, so the median here is equal to what? 3. Very simple. If you have it in this format, you don't want to go through the stress of drawing a frequency table, you just what? Outline it, and then you use the what? The calculation. Summation f plus 1 over 2 for odd, and summation f over 2 for what? For even. That is as simple as it gets for median. Now let's look at the characteristics. The median is less sensitive than the mean. It doesn't require all the quantities of the data, it doesn't require all the elements in a given data, and it is what? Unique in nature, and it is not exactly always present. Now the last aspect we'll be looking at is what? The mode. Let's use another example for mode. Mode, okay, before we even go down to the example, when we're talking about mode in a given set of data, mode is simply the number that appears the most. When we want to talk about mode, we're only talking about what? The number that appears the most in a given set of what? Data. Now let's look at this. We said, for example, given the data above, we have a frequency table where we have elements or numbers, and we have a frequency. We have 5, we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have 6, we have 4, we have 8, we have 7, and we have what? 5. So now looking at this, they said find the mode. Well, I've said it earlier that the mode is simply the number that appears most, or the elements that appears the most. So in this case now, looking at the frequency, we have 5 appears 6 times, 6 appears 4 times, 7 appears 8 times, 8 appears 7 times, and 9 appears what? 5 times. What number has the highest frequency here? 7, because 7 appears what? 8 times, and simply 7 is what? Mode. Mode here is equal to 7. Very simple and self-explanatory. When mode comes in your mind, your explanation should be very simple and short, which is what? The number that appears most, or the element that appears most. We looked at this table and we found out that our mode is equal to what? 7. They are not asking you to write down the highest number of times an element appears. They're asking you which element appears the most, which element has the highest frequency. And 7 has the highest frequency because it appears 8 times, and therefore our mode is equal to what? 7. Characteristics of mode. The mode is usually the least sensitive. It is not as sensitive. It doesn't require all the quantities in a given data. It doesn't require all the elements. It only requires one. And which one is the one that appears most? That's why it is what? Least sensitive, and it is what? The least representative measure of what? Of central tendency. So it is very simple. The measures of central tendencies is very simple and very self-explanatory. And then we have what? The mean, the median, and the mode. 3 basic measures of what? Central tendency. Look at the mean, which is what? The sum of all the elements divided by their total frequency. And we look at the median, which is what? The middle number when a given set of data is arranged in either ascending or descending order. And then the mode is simply the number that appears most. I believe you understand what I've given. Now let's look at one question from the past question before we move forward. Let's look at one past question before we end the class for today. Now they said, use the data below. It is a very simple question. 54, 36, 62, 79, 83, 36, 62, 42, 62, and what? 42. The first question says, find the median. Second question says, find the mode. It was a case of use the data below to answer question 26 and 27. So question 26 said, find the median. Question 27 said, find the mode. Now, looking at the median, the first thing we have to do is to what? Represent this number in what? In ascending or descending order. The least number we have here is what? 36, and 36 appears twice. Then we have 42. 42 appears twice as well. Next, we have 54, which appears once. And then we have 79. Sorry, we have 62, which appears 3 times. Then we have 79. And then we have what? 83. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're very correct with our representation. So now let's see the middle number. 1. So we have 2 numbers left at the middle, and we said when we have 2 numbers left at the middle, an average of the 2 numbers is taken as what? The median. Thank God we have a question that will help us get the median. So 54 plus 62 over 2. So 54 plus 62, this is 116 rather. So 50 plus 110, 116 over 2 divided by 2, we have what? 58. So the median of this data is what? 58. And then they asked us what? To find, did I say 50? Sorry, 53. Very sorry for that slight mistake. 2 into 6 is what? 3. So we have what? Okay, sorry, I was correct. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was actually very correct. 58. Now we're asked what? To find the mode. The mode, which is simply the number that appears the most. One number appears the most here, 62, because it appears what? 3 times. So mode is equal to what? 62. Very easy and simple. You should not spend more than 2-3 seconds. Sorry, you should not spend more than a minute solving a question like this. So now we have looked at the mean, we have looked at the median, we have looked at the mode, and we have looked at an example from the past question. And then the next thing you can do for yourself is to visit the O3 Schools JAMB app and then search for economics and click for questions that have come out under the measures of central tendency, and then answer all of them so that you'll be very strong and very sound when it comes to questions involving the measures of what central tendencies. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you understand. If you have any questions, you can drop in the comment section, or you can revise back and then listen to the video all over again, and then I'm very sure that your questions will be answered in due time if it's in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening.